The greatest trash talkers in the NBA will only be highly remembered for their greatness, more than capable of backing up their words, humiliating their opponents in devastating fashion. Not every star player has the skills, brains, and talents of a Larry Bird or a Michael Jordan. The non-all-time greats who talk trash to all-star players likely will regret their actions. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. I made a recent video on the cockiest, most regrettable playoff trash talking moments over the last 10 years that ended up in blown leads. If you haven't watched it, just click on the link above or down in the description below. But for this video, we'll go a little further back, this time highlighting the most regrettable postseason trash talking moments starting from 2000 onward until 2013, times where none of the younger stars today, 25 years old and younger, were in the league. Starting from 2003, Tracy McGrady, the most unlucky superstar the league has ever seen. His career leaves plenty of what-ifs. A combination of injuries and playoff disappointments made T-Mac one of the most forgotten former two-way stars who was as gifted as anybody in their primes. Drew comparisons, back and forth debates with Kobe. The 2003 series, after a strong postseason start, up 3-1 as the 8th seed, the 23-year-old superstar got a little ahead of himself. Speaking of the second round, McGrady's Magic ended up losing, only to get absolutely destroyed, abused, annihilated, and humiliated the next 3 games, all by double digits. A combined 61 points, an absolute travesty of a meltdown. This series also gave birth to Doc Rivers welcoming the king of 3-1 shivers. And making matters worse, if this was the previous season, T-Mac's Magic would have been in the second round, because 02-03, the year the league changed the first round format to a best of 7 instead of best of 5. From 84 to 02, every first round series was a best of 5. Due to more games on cable television, the MVP candidate would have had one of the best first round series ever. In beating a 1 seed, first 4 games averages of 36.3 points, 2.3 steals, over a block on excellent efficiency against a defensive-minded Detroit team. The next 3 games average under 26 points, 31% from the field. Pistons wished the lanky Tayshaun Prince on T-Mac. It seemed like McGrady was on verge of becoming the game's best player one day, only to take a brutal turn, losing an absurd 21 of his next 22 games, including a disgusting 1-18 start the following season. His roster, having Drew Gooden, Old Darrell Armstrong, and Gordon Gierczek, didn't help. The quote gave the Pistons motivation, getting all the way to the conference finals and winning the entire thing the following year, while McGrady 0-8 trying to lead his team past round 1 as the guy, his only time making it past the first round. Final year in 2013 with the Spurs, where he was a third-string role guy. The lesson of the story: never ever look past your opponents when job's not finished. Al Harrington and Paul Pierce going at it back and forth 2003 playoffs, given the nickname The Truth by the great Shaquille O'Neal. The 25-year-old on an average Boston roster, 6-seed underdogs versus the Pacers, up 2-1 thanks to his dominance. His team trailed by 16 points. Netted in 21 in the third quarter. Boston outscored Indy 37-14 in the third. Harrington actually didn't say much, but the mistake in talking back to Pierce says, "You're not gonna go by me." The ref was telling both of them to knock it off. An iconic Paul Pierce moment that signifies what his career was all about. A combination of tough 2000s basketball plus a little street ball flair. Every fan got their money's worth that night. Harrington, courageously cocky, instead pushed his teammate away, saying, I got this. But the truth was immediately told. Harrington absolutely got schooled by the better Pierce, something every Boston fan will always remember. Pierce netted in 32 of his 37 second half points, Harrington just 7 total, a 4-2 series win over the 3-seeded Pacers. 2004, Knicks vs Nets, Tim Thomas vs Kenyon Martin. The two never liked each other in their playing days. Thomas had all the hype in the world, while Martin, hard-nosed, earned his way becoming the #1 pick. The previous year, Thomas with Milwaukee, Kmart passed Thomas's team to get to the finals. The fourth quarter of Game 1, Thomas landed hard after a flagrant foul by Jason Collins. Actually had to go to the hospital, missed the remainder of the series. This was what New York's power forward said about the Nets All-Star.
All the fake tough guy role, I mean, I hate it, especially in the NBA, because as soon as something happens, you got 12 to 13 guys to protect you in a little scuffle. So, you know, I just think he's fugazi all around.
Fugazi, a term borrowed from The Sopranos. Martin laughed at those comments and printed what Thomas said from a t-shirt. Martin also loved his chances in a one-on-one fight. Thomas, who couldn't respond on the court, watched Kenyon play his very best playoff series ever. True superstar numbers of over 23 and 14, over 64% from the field, in a low-scoring defensive era, a sweep. Those comments absolutely fueled Martin to perform. Whiny Tim became something for Nets fans to mock. The two still had ongoing beef throughout the years, even talks of a boxing match with 50 Cent promoting it, but beef was squashed after their playing days. Fair to say, Martin absolutely destroyed and got the best of Thomas. And that wasn't the last of Thomas chirping. Just 2 years later with the Phoenix Suns, the regrettable blown kiss directed at Dirk Nowitzki. Imagine blowing a kiss to a girl at the club only for the better looking guy to go home with her and there was nothing you could do about it since he got more game than you. That's exactly how the Tim Thomas situation would have went down. But on the basketball court, after coming back from a double-digit deficit, Thomas nailed 3 straight threes, looked like he was going home a happy man, netting in 12 of his 26 in the third, a pivotal Game 5 conference finals. Thomas and Nowitzki, a nasty exchange, resulted in Thomas making the fatal mistake, taunting a kiss at him. Nowitzki then went beast mode, scored 29 more points after that, quickly erased the deficit to being lights out, scored 22 in the fourth, a career playoff best 50 points for Dirk. Whether it was Thomas, Marion, or Boris Diaw, all too small. Just like how Booker mocked Doncic, Thomas and the Suns got humiliated just as badly. Dallas also went on to close out Game 6 on the road en route to the finals. The 2006 Dallas Mavericks organization already planned a parade up 2-0 versus Miami in the finals. Local officials released the route of the parade. At the time, Mark Cuban had his back and forth with NBA referees after how the Mavs looked at home. It seemed like the Heat didn't have much of a chance. 2 double-digit wins. O'Neal held to 5 points Game 2. The Dallas Morning News printed the City of Dallas official championship parade plans. Announcements were made, permits filed. Cuban flirted about wearing a Speedo when he was gonna accept the trophy from Commissioner Stern. Given that Dallas beat Miami with ease twice that regular season, the plan looked like it was gonna fall through. After being up 89-76 with 6:19 left in Game 3, all or nothing for Miami, D-Wade went Jordan mode on Dallas. Dirk missed the clutch free throw that would have tied it. Jerry Stackhouse flagrant Game 4, suspended for the 5th game. After a blowout loss from Wade's 25 free throw attempts to Josh Howard mistakenly calling the last timeout, his team couldn't advance the ball, lost by a point in Game 5 OT. When the parade was planned, Dallas didn't win another game for the series. The day between Game 5 and 6, Dirk tried to celebrate his 28th birthday, but sick to his stomach, sensing a title slipping away. Thankfully, Nowitzki was able to lead his team to an official parade 5 years later. More on that in a bit. Kenyon Martin talking tough to Kobe 2008 playoffs. The Western Conference, most competitive it's been. Every playoff team separated by 7 games, all won at least 50. Number 1 seed Kobe had Powell, Odom, and Fisher. Denver had Iverson, Carmelo, J.R. Smith, Kenyon Martin, Marcus Camby, and Linus Kleza. Nuggets actually looked more superior on paper, but here was Iverson recalling his finest memory playing against the Mamba.
And Kenyon started guarding. They were going back and forth with each other, and Kenyon was like, beat you, going crazy with him. And I'm sitting there looking like, because he been quiet. This man started going crazy. I mean, dunks, threes, mid-range. I mean, killing us. I think he had like 49 or something. And my nickname is Chuck. So he was like, Chuck. He said I was chilling. And they shook the tree and the mama fell out. And I was like,
A huge mistake by Kenyon. When Kobe wasn't saying anything, Martin decided to wait for the Mamba to unleash his prey. Kobe easily won his best playoff games, a masterful 49.10 assists, 18 of 27 shooting Game 2. The fadeaways over the bigger, more physical Martin. Didn't matter how strong Kenyon was, 8 of 10 in the first quarter, which is why you should never instigate a guy in Kobe's magnitude. Not only did Bryant average 33.5 points for the series, but made sure the Nuggets didn't even win a single game, resulted in a sweep. Martin, a career 2-12 playoff record against the Mamba. That's what he gets for talking trash to the best of the best. Deshaun Stevenson beefing with LeBron 2008, rapper Soulja Boy and Jay-Z involved. Role player Stevenson never averaged more than a dozen points for any season. After James's Cavs knocked off Washington the previous 2 years in a March game, Stevenson dared to call James overrated. When LeBron missed the 3 on him, LeBron responded saying saying that him reacting to Stevenson would be like Jay-Z saying something bad about Soulja Boy. Stevenson dated 2 former co-workers of Beyonce, while Jay-Z, a huge LeBron fan, was about to marry Beyonce. Perhaps there's some beef connecting there. The brashy Stevenson then hoped to play the Cavs despite being the underdogs, even accused James of copying his beard. Of course, LeBron's Cavs beat the Wizards. Even James himself mocked Stevenson's signature celebration. After a 32-point and 30-point performance, James led all teams in scoring all 6 games. More attention back at the nation's capital. When Soulja Boy showed up, Stevenson had a monster game. 5 3-pointers for 19 points. LeBron said there was still no beef, but 2 days later, Jay-Z released the freestyle beef, dissing Stevenson and praising James. First played at a DC nightclub. Wizards players were disgusted hearing that. At least Stevenson can be happy about beating LeBron's 2011 Heat as a reserve, giving him a title. Ron Artest back and forth with Kobe Bryant 2009. Before the 2009 playoffs, Artest went on to say Kobe scared of him. Bryant laughs and said, "You a stand-up comedian now?" Fourth quarter of Game 2, things got super physical, minor confrontation, Kobe dropped 40, and to end the third quarter of Game 3, Artest's strong physical defense didn't matter as Bryant drained the 3 with ease. All the verbal altercation resulted them in becoming teammates, winning the 2010 title when both needed each other at most. Mo Williams guaranteeing a win over Orlando the 2009 series. Cleveland looked like they were going to have an easy path to the finals, winning all 8 games by double digits before facing the Magic. Finding themselves down 2-1, Williams' quote turned tragic. No answers for the outside shooting and prime Dwight Howard. Orlando the underdog to a 66-win team. So much for averaging 17 a game on 19 shot attempts while making those remarks. Williams ended up shooting 5 of 15 Game 4, fell in 6 games, shot just 37% from the field. Superstar teammate James carried the load. Williams got his fair share of flack for those cocky statements. Quentin Richardson vs. Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett 2010. The beef between Q Rich and Pierce dated back since their early days. Pierce the more superior player. When Garnett was ejected for his elbow on Q Rich in Game 1, missing Game 2, Richardson accused Pierce of faking the shoulder injury that started the altercation, saying he was on the ground crying or trying to take a break and rest up. I don't know what was going on. 2 actresses over there, that's what they are.
I ain't got no business talking to him. He on the ground crying. I don't know what was going on. 2 actresses over there, that's what they are. I'm surprised you got that far that quick. I just be surprised at people's actions when I know them better than that, when they not those characters that they portray in this movie. They not who they say they are. Garnett and Pierce, they good basketball players, but nothing other than that. I said to Jay, I said he okay, because I knew nobody just touched him. How did he fall? Was he taking another break like he do so many times? Sometimes he fall like he about to be out for the season and then he get right up.
Pierce then gave Richardson and the Heat a taste of their own medicine by draining the game-winning jumper in Game 3. 32 points, took a commanding 3-0 lead. Although Richardson had a 20-point Game 4 and outplayed Pierce for once, won 1 game, Pierce and the Celtics closed out the Heat in 5. The classic 2011 Miami Heat. The Big 3 got on stage before the season welcome party. The Heatos attracted all the attention, acting like they already won them all. Not 1, not 2, not 3.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7.
Became supervillains. Everybody outside of LeBron and Heat fans wanted them to fail badly. Their talents undeniable, got to the finals, looked like they were going to annihilate Dallas, up 15 with 5 minutes left. After Wade's 3-pointer, the smiling and fake punching in the chest right in front of Dallas's bench gave the Mavs the extra juice to close a 22-5 run, with the Jets scoring the next 6 Dallas points. Terry off the bench went on to outscore LeBron in the finals. Even after an embarrassing Game 4 from James, Dirk battled with illness, had a fever. James and Wade were caught mocking Nowitzki by fake coughing before Game 5, a childish act. Nowitzki very angry and hurt. Dirk, an excellent Game 5 of 29 points, closed out Miami Game 6. The series went from the Heat perhaps sweep to oh no, Dirk got sick, to James collapsing and Miami panicking, a title well earned for the 2011 Mavs. 2012, Lane Stevenson drawing the choke sign to LeBron. Game 3 of the semis, after the underdog Pacers took a 2-1 lead, the second-year player who rode the bench averaged 2.5 points that regular season. A well-balanced Indy team, no player averaged more than 15 for the series. Afterwards, James and Wade caught fire, won the next 3 with a Game 4 masterpiece, LeBron 40, 18, and 9. Wade 30, 9, and 6. All Stevenson could do was watch on the bench. 7 minutes total play for the series, turning the momentum in favor of the eventual champs. James went on to eliminate Stevenson in 5 different postseasons throughout their careers. 2013, Brandon Jennings with the most laughable and delusional statement on this list.
How do I see the series? I think it's going to be a good one, an exciting one. I know everybody's counting us out. But for us, you know, there's really no pressure on us right now. So we just gonna go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6. We're gonna win in 6.
Beat the Heat in 6? There's a difference between confidence and reality. Jennings should have gotten drug tested on the spot. Very laughable remarks. 8 years later, the Bucks, however, did win in 6 in the finals. So Jennings, forever a Bucks legend, a Milwaukee favorite, but him and Ellis, zero chance against Wade and James. Got swept, lost all 4 by double digits, average lackluster 13.3 points, under 30% shooting. Honorable mentions includes Ruben Patterson, November of '99, called himself the Kobe Stopper. A former Laker bumped into Kobe's Lakers 0-2 postseason. His Blazers proceeded to get swept. Bryant averaged 26, 6, and 5. Patterson just 5.3 points. Bryant also went on to sink 2 unbelievably clutch bombs over the pesky Patterson, winning the Pacific Division, the last regular season game of 04. Anthony Puller elbows KG in the face Game 6 2004 semis. Garnett didn't retaliate after, but a masterful 32 and 21 Game 7 the very next game knocked off Sacramento. KG's trash talking JJ Redick and the Magic on the bench in the 2009 semis. Out with injury, Game 7, Orlando proceeded to dominate Boston in an impressive blowout. 2011, Matt Barnes escalated, shoving Jason Terry after Terry called a flagrant foul, pushing Steve Blake. Artest also went after Mark Cuban, taking offense to his comments, wanting Ron to keep getting the ball more. A month later, Dallas went on to sweep the 2-time defending champs. Barnes 3.3 points, World Peace suspended the game for hitting Berea, ineffective. The Jet averaged 20 points on 59% shooting that series. Those were the cockiest, most regrettable playoff trash-talking moments from 2000 to 2013, which led to humiliating beatdowns. Any other trash-talking moments in the earlier part of the 2000s postseason I haven't mentioned? Let me know in the comments below which one of these moments was your favorite. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love all of you. See you next time.